So this is the morning of day 2 of the greenhouse build. You can see that we've basically managed to get the base sorted yesterday. So you can see all this plastic grid structure. We had to dig out the area, and this area to start with had this bed in it. So we moved that about a month ago, moved the bed to its new position, dug out the area, and then we've laid some weed fabric under it, a bit of sand to get it all nice and level. This plastic grid structure gives it strength, and now we're backfilling it in with a load of this small gravel, and so that's going to be the kind of the strength on the bottom. We also fitted our metal plinth that the greenhouse is going to sit on. This will be nice and level, so should keep the whole greenhouse nice and level. And then we also had to concrete it in the corners and at the midpoints, and that's just to make sure that it doesn't fly away in a strong breeze. So we've been pouring some stone so far this morning. The fact that there's a gap here is because this side of the greenhouse I'm going to put like a raised bed inside the greenhouse as well, so that'll be for things that like it a bit sunnier, stuff like tomatoes and stuff like that. So I'm leaving that without gravel so I can backfill that just direct with soil. And so I think the rest of today's plan is to do a lot more gravel to start with. Well, not a lot more actually, we're nearly finished, but a bit more gravel, and then we'll start building. And so the actual greenhouse itself is just in this package here, and we've got a box of glass over there as well. So we'll update on how it all goes in a bit. This is about halfway through building the frame. So we've got the front panel, the back panel, one side there and one side down here on the floor. The next job is to put those all together and then build a roof so that it actually looks like a greenhouse. And then after that we're going to have to put all the glazing in. But yeah, I think for now we're going to stop and have a little bit of lunch and get back to it after that. This is the end of day 2 of the build. We've basically done everything now apart from put the glass in. So this will be how we enter. So through here and into the greenhouse. We've got these nice little windows which we've just tied down to stop them flapping around. So basically whole structure built, and we're going to glaze it tomorrow. But yeah, it's actually been a relatively simple build, even though the instructions are all just pictures, but yeah, not too bad. It doesn't seem too massive in the garden. I guess we'll see once we start to fill it up with other stuff. Here's what it looks like back from the house. So yeah, we've got the one bed, then the greenhouse, and then the other bed the other side of it. We'll do a bit more of an update once we get some glass in. So this is checking in halfway through day 2, and if anything it looks like we've gone backwards. Doors off, windows are off, and it's because we've just spent about the last 2 hours, 3 hours maybe, putting these tiny little annoying rubber bits all the way up the lengths of all these poles here, every single vertical, all the way a whole way around. So that's absolutely ruined our fingers, and it's incredibly fiddly, and is definitely the worst part of building a greenhouse. Next stage is all the glass, so we're just going to unpack that, and then hopefully next time we do a little video update it'll all be done. We're about a third of the way through glazing now. So we've put glazing on this side of the roof, we've started the other side. It's all just held in place with these little clippy bits and these little floaty hook bits here as well. So yeah, just need to get the rest of it glazed and then we'll be done. And this is us all finished at the end of, I guess, day 3. So one day for the foundation, one day for the structure, and 1 day for all those silly rubber bits, and then the glass. And so yeah, so we've got a little door. Obviously we need to sort out the inside, but very nice smooth door. And then we can come inside. And here we are, inside the greenhouse. Obviously we haven't got anything laid out in here yet, but that will all be coming in future videos. Enjoy. And here we are, well, a couple of days later. We had terrible weather yesterday, and this is kind of how we're going to be using it for the next few days at least, until our staging comes. So we've now built this planter, and we're going to backfill into there with soil, and then that will be where all our tomatoes and aubergines and stuff grow. If I step inside, this shelving unit here we've repurposed. That used to be inside our like outdoor greenhouse thing, just with the plastic sheet around it. So we're just using that for shelves. You can see we've got a few different things here. Kaylee's growing some ranunculuses here. Not sure about these. Maybe Melope, maybe Rudbeckia. And then we've got some shallots starting, and some trays of onions as well. And then these are just some peas and lettuces, which are about to start germinating. We've already started moving in some pots for pot storage. Found this table, we've had this in our shed, so we've moved this in to use for potting. And we're gonna have staging about the same height as this, 8 foot of that. We've ordered it, so it's gonna come all the way up to about here. And then we'll have a little space here in the corner, which we might put some, this corner here, we might put some shelves or something, not too sure yet. We'll see how we use it, and then obviously we might put in shelves on the side or extra bits and pieces as things go. I've also installed this, which is meant to automatically open the window. I'm not sure if it's working, I haven't figured it out yet, so, but it's also not hot enough to really justify opening the window yet, so time will tell. I need to install one on the other side, but haven't got around to it yet. And need to do something to collect all the water. But that is our greenhouse. It's definitely toasty and warm in there, so I think we can imagine Kaylee's going to be spending most of her time in there. Room for her to set up a chair, and she'll start just reading and soaking up the rays. Cool. And while I'm talking to you, here's our purple sprouting broccoli. So I planted this last year. It's grown all over winter, and now we need to crop all these bits and start eating them. We've already had one crop, well, one meal, but yeah, it's looking great. Unfortunately, all the purple disappears when you cook it, but other than that, delicious.